a number of wonderful films. My fear, more than fear, my observation is that the filmmakers of substance need support.
Yeah.
And the problem is the amusement park films. The problem is that, which is something that's been pointed out for the past number of years now. But now I think, in effect, they've got real cinema on the run, so to speak. It's very difficult for films of substance or attempted, how should I say? I don't want to use the word personal vision, but I have. It doesn't mean it's not entertaining, right? But these projects, where can they be shown?
In 2019, the New York Times published an opinion piece from legendary director Martin Scorsese. In it, he explained that Hitchcock could be regarded as one of the franchises of his time, where thrilling set pieces in Strangers on a Train and North by Northwest wow audiences, but only work in part of the whole composition and the drama between characters. In a summary for the MCU, he claims they lack something essential to cinema, the unifying vision of the artist. Furthermore, he dismissed these blockbusters as only theme parks for the audiences. Without laboring on something viewed as controversial among fans, when watching The Marvels, I finally began to see Martin's point of view, bookending my ennui from the moment I sat down in the theater.
Not again!
Hi.
Where's our daughter?
Wherever you were.
The Marvels is a roller coaster. Bold colors yank your eyes into focus as the editing whiplashes between scenes and sequences. But perhaps more specifically, the film feels more like a big birthday bash with choirs, piñatas, petting zoos, and rotating games with no explanation. At moments, the party feels like a good time so long as I tell myself to enjoy it, and though I try, I still don't know why I'm there or who's it for. In fact, though I was left with a surprising high, it crashed when I realized that I was still confused by what transpired, a fact I don't express lightly. Going back to Scorsese's opinion regarding composition and character, some questions form in response to the party. What is The Marvels about? Or rather, who is the movie about? When a film is led by an ensemble, you can allow for small subplots to enter center stage, occasionally to help further a character when the main plot allows. But the story should remain centered on one figure and their conflict. Then the others are involved as needed without being overbearing or distracting. Musicals, for example, are replete with characters all singing their I Want songs around a central note as represented by the lead, Jean Valjean in Les Miserables, Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady, and Alexander in Hamilton. That central note is clearly introduced and defined, recognizable immediately by the personality they bring to the story and the conflict they grow from. Carol Danvers is supposed to be that central note, first introduced in Captain Marvel 2019, but her character is muddled, ranging from stoic to giddy with no explanation. And this is exacerbated by the remaining members of her marvelous trio. I know who Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan are after minimal exposure. Monica is kind-hearted, intelligent, and a little no-nonsense as she directs the group to act with sense and honor. Kamala is idealistic and energetic, but ignorant of the dangers in this heroic profession. Yet she knows she must do the right thing because that's what heroes do. But Carol is just Carol. A flat avatar that occasionally emotes, proving that Brie Larson can act in truly intimate moments, but lacks the star power indicative of superheroes. Consequently, and without spoilers, the movie can't decide where to keep focus in any given moment. The villain of the piece is Dar-Ben, the weak shadow of Carol Danvers and her equal in dreary characterization. To compare, the presence of Cate Blanchett's Hela is given little warning before Emerald Energy opens her prison, and the camera pans up her lithe figure to end on a triumphant smile. But Hela's introduction is extended, adding to the stakes of her menace as we see her horns manifest, banishing her brothers with ease before invading Asgard. Dar-Ben, however, has no such theatricality. She appears with no introduction, and the action begins before we have a chance to blink. For the new leader of the Kree, there's never a sense of regality or strength in countenance, so I never feel like she's a legitimate threat to anyone. Carol Danvers, if you'll forgive me for crossing fences, should be treated like the Superman of her universe, thus requiring an enemy of superior intelligence, someone who can match her brawl with brains. While Kane is busy being beaten by ants or bumbling around with Loki, Carol could have been tested by villains like MODOK or manipulators like Karlin Sofin, aka Moonstone. But once again, we're given proof that villains remain a weak point in the MCU, as they don't represent any drama for character, just plot. As to the plot of the film, it's a mess of space exploration and science exposition while the trio switches around when the script deems convenient. In calm moments when Carol and company are allowed to interact is when the story is strongest, but it's never allowed to breathe long enough. They train in a montage, they bask on a musical planet, they herd cats in a space station, just one skip after another as we gallop to the end credits surprise. Every planet is supposed to be related to Carol's reputation, but these actions occurred off-screen, and so we have no attachment to the settings, leaving us victims to uninspired visuals. That said, this is when I'm having fun at the party I don't understand because I'm not slogging through tedious filler or flat emotion. Indeed, by the climax, I was invested in what was happening due to the arcs of Monica and Kamala. Sadly, Carol just didn't stand out in her own movie. Again. And I still have no interest in seeing her in later installments. Finally, to tie in the note about the vision, I'm not sure where Nia DaCosta was in this picture. Many directors, those with strong creative voices, always manage to manifest themselves in some way to the audience. Sam Raimi, James Gunn, Chloe Zhao, Kenneth Branagh, Joss Whedon, Taika Waititi, and even Kate Shortland. But Nia seems buried by the brand she's looking to explore, and it saddens me that someone with so much potential is never allowed to really shine. The Marvels is not the great offense to cinema, but it's not a promise of substance or expansion of the brand or medium. It's just another Marvel movie that we all agree to watch and rant about until the next thing comes along and we'll forget about it. And that reality, that assumption of discourse temperament and empty discussion, probably depresses me more than any recent blockbuster. The Marvels. A waste of time.